Hi guys, I'm Kim D'Angelo, the Aquatics Director at the YMCA, part of the Greater Indianapolis Association. Really excited to talk to you today virtually about some backyard pool safety. So with spring here and summer around the corner, we want to just make sure we're ready and thinking about these things ahead of time. Really the most important thing to stress is supervising young children all the time. So lots of times at family settings, there's many adults and lots of kids are swimming, and because there's so many adults, people think someone's watching the kids, or I'm kind of watching and someone else is kind of watching. Really stressing the importance, and we try to educate the parents in our programs to have one adult that's really responsible for watching the kids at a time. Of course, those adults can kind of trade on and off and take turns, but having one primary person responsible is really essential for watching the entire body of water. Really, it can be worth it just to maybe pay a lifeguard to come to your backyard or be at the outdoor pool and make sure there's one person watching the pool if you guys are partying and being social and not really fully watching. If you're going to be in the water and you have young children, it's a great rule of thumb just keeping them within arm's reach. That way, if they're exploring and they go a little too far or they need any kind of assistance, they're right there and they're within arm's reach, and you can be that primary person in the water to rescue them. If you have older children, we always recommend just budding the kids up. Kids, 7, 10, 12 years old, they can definitely let you know if their buddy's having an issue and just help to be another layer of defense. So make sure that the buddies that are in the water are similar swimming abilities. What you don't want is a baby that's on the steps and then their buddy is deep end swimming, scuba diving underwater. Kind of want those buddies together, keeping an eye on each other. If one goes to the far end of the pool, both buddies should be going together. They shouldn't be separating. They should be within arm's reach of each other. Really, if you have little ones in the water that I mentioned that aren't down in the deep end, it's best if you put some sort of life vest on them or whatever it is that it's U.S. Coast Guard approved. Sometimes a lot of parents we see here at the Y will bring the pedal jumpers with a flotation in the front, which is great. Just take a moment as you're shopping this season or looking over what you currently have that the device says it'll either have a stamp on it or it will say U.S. Coast Guard approved. What we want to avoid is anything air filled, as deemed as like an inflatable. It used to be really popular to have the arm wingies of air. Those are more of a toy. If they popped, they are not life-saving. So make sure you really step it up, get something it's worth spending the money in to keep your kids safe, as far as keeping them safe in a life vest that is Coast Guard approves. When you are at a public pool, or maybe this is a backyard pool, all outdoor pools should have some sort of fence around them. That fence needs to have a gate that properly closes, and the lock on the gate is above the reach of a child, so that an adult is the one letting kids in and out of the water. Kids want to explore, they want to see the water, they get really excited, which is great, and we love that enthusiasm. We just make sure they're safe and there's physical barrier stopping them from getting in, and really teaching them that permission, having them ask permission to get in the water is really helpful as well. Before you guys are swimming and you're outdoors, just really keep an eye on that weather. If you're at a public place, there should be lifeguards that do this already, but if there is lightning, if there's the sound of thunder or rain even, you really don't want your family in the water. Of course, electricity and water don't mix, but even rain, when rain's coming down on the top of the water, it makes so many ripples that you can't actually see if your child's underwater. It becomes like a visibility issue when you're watching them. So just another thing to keep in mind, even for your backyard or you're going to a friend's house, keep an eye on that weather, of course. One other thing too is, as far as keeping an eye on your kids, they're going to be exploring the water and in the water. You want to keep them away from any kind of skimmer or drains at the bottom of the pool. So those devices are meant to suck in water to go through the filtration system, which is essential for pools. You don't want kids reaching their arms in or going to the bottom of the pool and hovering over them because they do have a suction on them. You don't ever want your child potentially getting kind of sucked near that area. So just make sure it's free and clear so the filtration can do its job, which is not entertaining the kids. So keep them away and give them other activities to be looking at. Really just knowing your pool before you go to it, establishing your family rules. Know your pool. So in this pool here, it is here at the YMCA, it's 5 feet deep. So we have a really strict rule of no diving. So it's important to maybe take a moment and talk to your kids and take a look at those signs that are around the pool deck. If it says no diving, show the children where that sign is and what that picture looks like, and explain to them and maybe ask them, like, why can't we dive? And what is a dive? Sometimes kids don't even know that means head first. So maybe explain the difference between enjoying some great cannonballs or really developing the dives head first. If it says no diving, tell them it's due to the depth. It really should be 9 feet and under is no diving. And talk a little bit as kids get older about some of the effects that can have on the body if they are diving in shallow water and why that can be so potentially dangerous. As far as parents go, throughout the summer, would always encourage you to maybe pop in and take the first aid course, CPR, just so you never know when you're going to need to have it. If the time arises, you're going to be happy that you had it. And just to help keep our pool safe so you guys can enjoy your summer and have a great time. So just thank you again so much for joining me as we did this little virtual freshening up as we're getting ready for summer. So you guys are thinking some safety as we're about to be going out and enjoying these outdoor pools. If you're a member, thank you so much for your continued support through this time. If you are thinking about being a member and you're interested in learning more, just go ahead and visit us at www.indymca.org. Thank you.